What's up, Panda Nation? Prowler Von Panda here. Peter Von Panda here. Actually, I just ordered something and got it. It's from Jefferson Collision Auto, I believe, in Mishikawa, Indiana, kind of outside of South Bend. I want to just show you what came in it, and it's probably not going to be the smoothest unboxing, but basically, they are the bumper removal fairings. You know, when you remove the front bumpers, they leave these unsightly holes, and that's because the Prowler came with bumpers for regulation compliance as opposed to, you know, style. But, and while I think Chrysler made them removable, they didn't really make them easily removable, but when they did that, they kind of left a pretty wide open spot for the aftermarket to create kind of the, I don't know, the pieces that fill that spot. Now, you don't have to fill them, but it does look like they're not filled correctly. They do look empty. I noticed that people have kind of taken the side marker, the turn signal lights that are in those bumpers, and then just kind of put some aftermarket lights in their place, but it does leave you wanting, I will say that. Now, I called this place and talked to Terry. Nice, helpful guy. Didn't realize that they're all Midwest guys, and I will say that I think Jefferson is not just a collision shop, but it's definitely kind of geared more towards hot rod. I checked out their Facebook page, and they have a lot of like hot rods on it, and so I think these guys were just probably early to the Plymouth Prowler scene and designed these fairings, is what I think they're claiming. They are the original makers of them. You'll probably notice that these are very, very popular in the Prowler world, the style, but there are some different companies that make them. Now, the ones I actually saw online on another website were a little more expensive, about $700 painted or $500 unpainted, and they advertise them to be fiberglass. The ones I got here look pretty good, I will say, and they did come painted, and he said he had them in stock, but they are ABS plastic. So if we turn it over here, even though they've painted both sides of this, you can kind of see in here that they're ABS plastic. I think this is plastic here too. It looks like they've kind of caulked in here and then sprayed the whole thing. We have what looks like an aluminum plate here that kind of goes to the mounting point on the frame where the bumpers will mount. We also have a aluminum plate right here, the backing plate, where you will screw in the turn signal light, which it does come with two of these, as well as the connectors, and then looks like there's some the bolts to kind of bolt this sucker in. So that's kind of nice. I don't know how long those turn signal lights are in the bumpers, and obviously it's probably easier to leave them in there. And then, you know, obviously it's quite molded, pretty organic shape. We do have a clear turn signal light lens built in here. I'm thrilled that they come painted. I think this should be this, you know, my Prowler is still the factory color, although I will say, because these are beautifully painted, they look a little more metallic and silver than I feel like my car looks, a little more faded. But we'll find out. Now, this is how they would be oriented. This piece will kind of hang over the front suspension and kind of cover it up, and then this piece sits flush with that body panel. The other thing I will point out here is it looks like there's some double-sided tape that runs along this side, so I'm assuming this little flange kind of gets tucked underneath the opening, so I kind of feel like you'd put this back end in first, and then you would remove this so that it kind of tapes itself to that opening and keeps it from rattling back and forth, because this is kind of a thin piece of material here. So that is the first look at it. Obviously, I'm not going to make the installation video of these right now. We will be putting these in, but it's going to require me to take out the headlights, which I'm going to do because I've got water in them and they're also fogged up. So we'll be putting these in at that point. But before we sign off here, let's go ahead and just kind of compare this to the paint on the car. So here I am with the Prowler, and got the fairing cover here. And once you get the bumper out, it goes right over this piece right in there. As you can see, the kind of the opening that it'll leave. You fill this in right there, and it does look like, because it's such a steep angle, it's kind of nice that the lens is angled back, because that kind of makes it point straight forward. So it'll go right in there, and that's the plate that'll attach to where the bumper is attached. Now, in terms of color match, I guess my car is pretty silver. Look at that. I mean, it's going to be a little hard here, but to kind of match it, to show that it matches, but certainly looks pretty good. I know I can't get it quite at the right angle. Maybe against the fender here, it's a little easier, but looks pretty good. In fact, the silver just looks even better. Like I said, I've got a little bit of like faded, kind of weathered, aged paint here. So you'll see we'll be doing a little bit of clear coating on that, but this will be great. I can't wait to get this in and kind of clean up the front end of the Prowler. I think the Prowler was meant to be free of these front bumperettes. I think that's what they call them. And with these new fairings here. So pretty excited about getting them in. That'll be a winter project. We'll show you more about that as we do it, but looking forward to doing the upgrade. Peter Around Panda, out.